Hello everyone, I'm Julie Miles and I'm here to share my life with you. The reason why you're sitting here looking at a picture on the wall is because in order for me to video my life story and about what I'm going through here in Jordan, Amman, and how I met my husband online, is that we want to keep our identity private. So I'm going to try and do my best that I can to show you what I see as I'm talking and things like that, and I'll show you things around Jordan and here in a few minutes after I talk to you about how I met my husband and stuff. I'll show you our lovely apartment that we have that I've lived in for the past 8 months, even though it's not that lovely. But that's one of the things that we've both had to endure and go through since we've lived here, or since I've come here in Jordan. Anyway, originally I'm from the U.S. I lived in Oregon and was taking care of my mother, who was very sick, and I had relocated from another state to live with her to take care of her, and she survived for about 6 months through before she passed away. And I wasn't able to, at the time, get another job or have any means to get another apartment after she passed away. We had to give up her apartment, and anyway, I ended up moving in with a brother that I had just met. Before I came, we had different fathers, and therefore neither one of us were raised with our fathers, so we didn't know about each other, and just down the chain of family I found out that I had another brother. So anyway, he invited me to stay with him and his girlfriend after my mother passed away. And from there, I was looking for work, and I didn't have a whole lot to do. I'd been very busy and occupied taking care of my mother for 6 months, and she wasn't able to get out of the home really and do anything, and I didn't know anybody because I came from another state. And so basically we were in the house unless she had a doctor's appointment, or I took her out to dinner a couple times when she was able to, or to see a movie. But other than that, we pretty much just stayed in the house, and I had to watch her as her health declined, and that was very hard to do. Very, very hard. If you've ever had to take care of a sibling or a parent while watching them die and taking care of them the best that you can, you know it's a very difficult thing. So anyway, to get to the story, I was on a couple different social networks. One was tagged, and if you've heard of MySpace, it's a lot like MySpace. And one day I was checking my messages on there, and I received a message, and it said that he introduced himself and told me who he was and where he was from Jordan Amman in the Middle East. And he wanted to know, right off the bat, he goes, "I'm really impressed with your profile and love your pictures. And I want to know if everything is real on your profile. Are you real?" He goes, "Because there's a lot of women out there that are scammers," and he goes, "Your profile just seems too true to be, or too good to be true." And I told him, yes. I said, "Those are my pictures, and I am real. Everything on my profile is real, so yes." He was like, "Oh, thank God. Yes." He goes, "Do you have a boyfriend?" I was like, "No." And he was like, "Yes." So he's just getting more excited by the minute. And, you know, I noticed he was from the Middle East, from a foreign country, and I'm just like, honestly thinking to myself, I'm like, great. I've got another one here that's going to ask me to marry him, and he's going to tell me everything I want to hear, just like everybody else. And true that, he did. And believe me, the guys from the Middle East or from other foreign countries, if you've ever been on a social network, you know that they don't waste time. They get straight to business, and they tell you that they love you and they want to marry you. Now, in my mind, when I hear this, And growing up in the United States, well, you don't sit there and say, I love you right off the back and that I want to marry you. It's a little weird, a little strange. You get kind of like, a little crazy because, that's not our custom. We don't do that. We usually see somebody, we like them, and we date for the most part. And if we like each other, and we hook up and we date some more, and we end up becoming girlfriend and boyfriend. And if we hit it off from there, then we move in together with each other, and then usually we get married. If things go down that road. But in the Middle East here, they don't date. They don't court each other. Normally, a male or a female, if they see each other, they like each other, it's usually from family members. They're allowed to marry their cousins or distant cousins or somebody in the family. It's usually family related. And they have to approve of the marriage. Now, if the girl doesn't like the guy or she's being asked for, then she has the right, most of the time, to decline and say, I'm not attracted to him, I have no feelings for him, I don't want to, make anything work. But if she does like him and they like each other after their first meeting, the family's getting together and they're talking, then they get married right away. There's no courtship, there's no dating. They get married, and from there they either live in their parents' home. They usually have a second floor made on top of the home that they have, and they'll live there. Or they have a choice. If he's already got a home, then they can move out, or she can move out and move in with him and continue their lives as husband and wife. So that's how that works. But me, not knowing that at the time, I just never could understand why or even how somebody can fall in love with somebody and just get married like that. So anyway, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, believe me. Well, what I didn't know, because I've had lots of offers, lots of, people asking me to marry me, even in the U.S. Not to brag or sound, whatever. But anyway, I've had that problem. I got to the point where I didn't even want to date, because anytime I dated somebody, it was like, after the first or second date, they were like wanting to, marry me. And I was like, oh, get out of here, you're crazy. It was the furthest thing from my mind, believe me, the furthest thing from my mind. So I sat there and I listened to him, and he asked me if I had a phone, and I was like, yeah, I have a phone. He goes, can I have your number? And I was like, sure, why not? I've been, busy with my mom for 6 months, no communication with friends or anything, so I was game and ready to communicate, believe me, just to have someone to talk to. It was kind of a nice change. So he was like, do you have a cam? I was like, well, no, not really. I was like, I have my iPad. But I don't really have the internet, or say that I have to go to the library, and I can use my iPad, the cam on my iPad. So I told him the next time I went to the library, I can see him on cam, and he had a cam, so I can see him. And so that's where we met. At the first time we met, seeing each other, was at the library. And he looked pretty good. I was like, wow, I said, I didn't say anything, but yeah, he looked pretty good. And he was pretty smitten with me too. So we talked for a while, and then every day from that day we were like online with each other almost 5 or 6 hours at a time. McDonald's became my internet service, and I would sit in my car for 6 hours, and we'd sit there and video cam with each other, just talking, getting to know each other. It was crazy. And he invited me to Jordan, and I was like, ooh. I was like, okay. I was like, my brother's going to kill me. I said, my family's going to kill me. I was like, here I am, going through just, burying my mom, and going through a hard time, and trying to find a job, and trying to find a place, and just trying to get settled all over again. And here I meet somebody online, and it's been a couple weeks, and he's inviting me to fly me out to Jordan to meet him. Well, just say that it didn't go over too well with my family and my friends. To tell my brother, quite frankly, I was scared to death to tell him, but I ended up telling him. And they all begged me not to go, that I don't know this person. And they're right, I really didn't know him. But by this time, I had really grown curious, and I started having feelings for him, and we really had a lot in common in our goals in life, what we really wanted. And I was thinking, well, you know, are things going to change after we get married, or if I were to marry him, or if I got there? What if I got to Jordan and I wasn't able to come back home? You know, I really didn't know the culture, and I didn't know what was going to happen. But I did know it was something there, and there was something definitely worth checking out. So I had lost my passport in the storage where my mom was at, and I was like 6-7 hours away from where the storage was at and had no idea where it was at. So he had to buy me a passport to get there. So we waited a month, and we counted down the days and the month and everything else online, and we were just getting antsy, and we wanted to meet each other, and we wanted to see each other, and we were just growing more in love with each other. It was a fairy tale romance online, on cam. You know, it was like we couldn't be separated anymore, and we couldn't wait to meet each other and be with each other. And so we finally, passport came in. My birth certificate, I had to order that too. My birth certificate came in, and then he paid for the airline ticket, and I flew to Jordan. I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Am I crazy? Yeah, I'm flying to Jordan. So anyway, I will tell you that I was nervous, but I wasn't nervous. It was like I've known him forever, for a long time. Like, we were soulmates. It was crazy. It was like I couldn't find anything wrong with him, but you know, that honeymoon period, when everything is perfect and you don't know this person, you don't know who and how they really are, because they're going to put their best face forward. You know, it's just how it always is. You know what I'm talking about. So I land, and he's there at the end of the corridor as I'm getting off the plane, and I see him, and we see him, or he sees me, and our eyes meet, and it was just like any nerves or anxiety that I had, they just left right there. And I was just like, oh my God, there he is. What do I say? What do I do? Because I couldn't run up to him and hug him and kiss him, because we're in the Middle East, and that's just, you can't show any public affection. So he just said, when you see me, you can just walk up to me, and, you know, I can maybe give you a kiss on the cheek or something like that. But basically, you know, we didn't even do that. We just kind of gave each other a small hug, and we're smiling ear to ear, and we're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. He was like, oh my God, I can't believe you're here. And we just kept saying that, and it was like looking at each other. And then we had to check in and get my passport stamped and everything like that, and pay for my visa to get into the country. So I am going to tell you a little bit more after that. He rented an apartment for the 2 weeks that I was going to be here, and we decided that we were going to get married. And I will tell you in the next video all about that. Okay? So look forward to that. Stay tuned. This is Julie Miles. I have some exciting news and some not so exciting news to share with you in the next video. Alright? Take care. Bye-bye.